So for this video, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Creed XS. This is a brand new bow for Mathews this year. It's a little bit shorter than last year's Creed. It's 28 inches axle to axle. So for the guys that are in a tree stand or ground blind, you guys are really going to like this bow. One of their single cams, and it's a nice smooth drawing bow. So far with shooting it, I find that it stacks pretty heavy towards the back 3/4 of the draw, but not bad, and then it dumps into a nice solid back wall. So for those guys that like a solid back wall, you're going to love this bow. Lightweight, which is nice for anybody that's going to do any backcountry stuff, and just overall just a really nice looking bow. And so we're going to shoot a few arrows out of this. I'm going to chronograph it with 2 really commonly weighted arrows, and just take a closer look at this thing. So it's got a pretty smooth, even draw all the way back. Really solid wall. I can pull against it and not have any sponge there at all, so it feels really good there. I like a solid wall. Very smooth on the shot, no hand shock at all. Nothing that would be any concern. But one thing I noticed with this one versus the other ones is, you know, you'd think it would draw really smooth and even, but it does peak out right about there and then dumps over into the valley. And hitting the wall really nice there, but a little stiff on the draw. Shouldn't really say it's too stiff, it's not that bad. It's just peaks out at a different point than what I'm used to, but it's smooth all the way. It's just where it peaks out at, you really feel it peak out. I think for the guys shooting this one in the 60-pound range, it's going to be really nice. Shooting it at 70, just a little bit stiff, but right here at this draw weight, this is probably about 62 pounds. Really nice and smooth, and then no complaints with that at all. I'm going to chronograph the Creed XS, and this bow is set at 70 pounds, 28 inches, and this first arrow is 417 grains. And then I'm going to chronograph a 380 grain arrow. So 274 on the 417 grain arrow. And this one weighs 380 grains. And that's 285. So after shooting the Creed XS for a little bit, I can say I like the bow. I like the way, you know, it shoots. I like the way it holds on target, especially for a bow that's only 28 inches axle to axle. I would, if I was picking this bow, shoot this around 65 pounds, maybe 60. I like the way it draws there. 70 is a little bit stiff for me on this cam, but at 65 it's really enjoyable to shoot. Draws back really smooth and even. There's not any weird transition in the draw cycle. Just rolls over smooth, peaks towards the back third of the draw cycle, and then just lightly rolls into the valley and into the draw stop where it's really, really solid. They're using the solid peg there that comes in contact with the limb, so there's no play at all on the back wall. So super nice. I've always been a fan of short bows, and I really like the size of this one. I know a lot of guys don't really like 28-inch axle to axle or anything under 30, but I find that this one holds just as good or better than a lot of the 30+ inch axle to axle bows that I've shot. So I'm happy with that. Obviously the compact size is nice for guys that hunt tree stands and ground blinds. So if that's you and that's something that you want to look at, I would take a look at that one, and that's the Creed XS.